welcome. This is an update to a previous video that was called No ACX Audio Issues. A lovely person left a comment saying they were confused about a part that I was being lazy about instead of actually recording something. I just kind of glossed over that. But I'm calling this part 2, I guess, and it's really about the noise floor, as ACX calls it. It's just having a quiet background throughout your whole audio, really. And so that's the title of this. And I'm going to cut here to screen capture of me going through the steps in Audacity and recording like a tiny, very tiny pretend chapter for ACX. Here we go. It's re-recording. We're in. I click on it so it comes up. We're in Audacity here, and I'm fixing a section of a previous video called No ACX Audio Issues, because the part where I showed an example of what you would have for your chapter after you read it was a little confusing. Even to me, it was confusing. But you can see here, this is an example. I'll do one in a second. But this audio track, you can see up front, there's slightly more than 1 second of empty space. In other words, all I did was try to not breathe out or make a noise or talk or anything for that 1 second. And then at the end, you can see, I think I taper off right about there, if that shows up. So it's about 1.5 seconds, which is fine. So that's just to give you an idea of what we're shooting for. I may not get it right, but here's the example anyway. Let's get rid of this one. So right now we're going to pretend that we're all ready to go, hydrated, got what we want to say in our head, all that jazz. So let's go ahead and try this. Okay, I just started after 1 second. I'm just going to talk for a little bit so this gets stretched out. I got to go over here and click stop after I'm quiet. Okay, so there we have it. It should be how yours looks, obviously. If you talk for an hour, you're either going to have to shrink this track, and I believe that's possible. Make it fit the screen up here somewhere. Yeah, there's a zoom in, a zoom out, all that stuff. But that's how it should look. So we got that right. And just to repeat some of the stuff we did before, that's record, the big red button. And when you got to the end, you were quiet for a little bit. You click the stop button. And to get this back to where you could see it, if it was really long, which this one isn't, but if it was, you'd click this. I guess it's rewind to the beginning, this pointy to the left arrow with a vertical bar. And then we could play it back. You probably won't hear it. Okay, so again with the stop, they call that line you're seeing the track head, I believe. So what we're going to do here, like before, we're going to highlight the track, and I've noticed that you can do that several ways, but I tend to like to highlight the bar up here because otherwise it seems to move the playhead, but you can double click in it to highlight it, but I'm not sure it's highlighting everything. So this seems safer. So we highlight the whole track end to end. And then again, we go up to our tools and we're going to run that macro, which I will put all the links back into this video so you can find it really quickly and get all set up. And I called mine ACX Udemy. So under tools, apply macro, ACX Udemy. You can call yours whatever. And then we're going to run that. And you saw quickly that it evens out my loudness, so it sounds much better. It's much clearer. And again, we passed all the ACX checks, especially the noise floor one at the beginning and the end, and all the way through it's really checking. So that was a quick recap of how to read your chapter and make sure you got that 1 second or a little bit more at the beginning. And I think you can have up to 5 seconds at the end. I can't remember the rules, but it can be longer at the end than it is at the beginning. And this one was mono, as you can see, because I set my my settings there to mono. So that can eliminate that whole stereo thing I was showing in the previous video. So that is it for this. Okay, I'm back. And hopefully that was helpful to anyone and everyone. I know it will be helpful for me if and when the day comes that I actually narrate something. And if and when the day comes, I actually write something, but we shall see. But it's been an interesting experience to learn. And if anyone has any further questions, feel free to ask them. And I can make another small video like this one going over, if it's not easy to answer without a video, going over the steps involved and how to get your reading book successful up on ACX. So with that, I will say peace.